Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Hey you guys. Y'all wasn't gonna go live today, but my Saturday was so free today. I barely get Saturdays free. So I said I wanted to do this live. And I was doing a lot of research last night. And I came upon, hey Royal D, I came upon something that I thought would be great to share with you guys. You know, God's timing is so great. I'm not going to lie, y'all. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Love Cat. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Sharon. Thank you, Rebecca. Hey, Serenity Speaks. Kicking it with Nene. What's going on? Well, he missed 2 weeks during summer, so no. Girl. Hey, Dreamy Girl. Hey, Angel. Hey, Black Forney. I ain't seen you in a while. Hey, Miss Karen. Hey, A Stokes. And hey to everybody coming in. So y'all, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to bring you guys, hey me us. I wanted to bring you guys something. Hey Elaine, not necessarily I was trying to think of something that would help you guys understand. Hey, Blueberry Boots. Hey, honey. That would help you guys understand what goes on in a contempt hearing. I wanted to, instead of like breaking it down verbally, I wanted you guys to actually see what happens. So what I did was I wanted to basically get some, hey, Terry, Humble Me Height. What's going on, Sean? I'm on your back there. You're the first platform I popped out for. They sending you love, light, and blessing. Oh, thank you, Humble Me Height. Right back at you, girl. I wanted to basically give you guys kind of like an insight, let you see firsthand how a contempt hearing works, okay? So what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something in relation to what you guys are all, you know, actually witnessing right now is a contempt hearing. But this contempt hearing is actually for child visitation. And I wanted to get something that was in the Georgia court. So y'all know it took me some digging. But I did, like I said, God is good. I did find something I want you guys to review. I want you guys, and I'm going to go through it with you guys. This is actually I'm going to pull up a contempt hearing. It is between a husband and a wife. They are not yet divorced, but they are separated. This happened in Fulton County. She's now a resident of California, but the order is in Fulton County. Hey, Valencia. The order is in Fulton County. So it's just like I want you guys also to understand how Georgia judges are. Hey, Tyrese with the T. I wanted you guys to get an idea of how Georgia judges are. They are no nonsense type of judge. Hey, T, what's going on? They are no nonsense type of judges. Okay. So we're going to go through an actual contempt hearing. And then I want you guys to think about what I told you guys in our last live, where I talked about when I broke down the documents, how I reiterated to you guys, hey, Miss Judy, how I reiterated to you guys, hey, Cancer 66, what judges want to hear. And that's why I went through both of their documents and I made it known what is contempt, what is not contempt. You can't, the essence of bringing extra stuff into a hearing, because I'm telling you, judges are very tedious when you go live during the weekdays. Yeah, well, Saturdays I really don't, but today I had a free Saturday, thank God. Judges are very tedious, they're very precise, and they are to the point. Now, hey, Jean, now I want you guys to understand, when people do have attorneys, they are allowed a little extra time, because attorneys actually go in and they break down case laws. They reference not only case laws, they reference stats. They are able to reference, things to what they're talking about. So those take a little bit more time versus somebody who's walking in there pro se. They are not familiar with any of the laws or anything like that. So in this contempt hearing, you guys, you're going to see where the wife or baby mama, mother, whatever, child. I hate, y'all, I don't like the word baby mama. I can't stand that. I can't stand the word baby mama, but you're going to see in this particular hearing where the mother she is pro se, but the father came in there with an attorney. Okay. You're going to see the difference in having an attorney and not having an attorney. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I know a lot of people, hey, D-Mail, I know a lot of people say, well, Miss Shawn, people can't afford attorneys, and you're right. So what I would say to people who can't afford attorneys, I would definitely say find a legal consultant. I would definitely say, find somebody that works in the legal field that is willing to sit down with you pro se to fill out your forms and also be able to guide you into your court hearing as to what to say. Because y'all, judges are very time is of the essence with them. So they're in and out. They want to hear what you got to say. And you're going to see this. I'm going to let you see this. Hey, Cynthia. So I'm going to get into it. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but you guys are going to get an idea of what you can expect, or you can visualize what's going to happen, what happens in a contempt case. Okay. So hold on. Let me add. All right, so let me know if you guys can see this or not. Now, I found this, like I said, this is on, I did not know this particular judge. A lot of judges now are airing their court proceedings on YouTube. And I don't know when they started that, but it's happening a lot in Georgia. I believe it's another state, but there is happening a lot. And what they're doing is, okay, Jean, well, we're going to go over it, girl. We're definitely going to go over it. Okay. So we're definitely going to go over it, and we are going to be able to, so you guys can get an idea. So you don't think I'm kind of BSing you and, whatever about what goes on. So we're going to go over and break it down a little bit. Okay. So let me know if you guys can or can't see it. Do I need to expand it? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if I need to expand it. Put a 2 in the chat if I'm good. 1 if I'm good. 2 if I need to expand it. Just let me know, because I want everybody to be able to see it. Judge Manning is, oh girl, you right about that. So let me know, y'all. Turn this arrow on. Okay, Valencia said it's good. Jean says I need to expand it a little bit. All right, hold on, I will. Expand it a little bit, okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me, all right, let me expand it some. Oh, you good? Okay, I'll still expand it just a little bit. Well, maybe I can. Oh Lord, y'all gonna have to pinch it. I thought maybe I could, but I can't actually. I thought I could explain it, but you just listen more than you do anything. So y'all, you're gonna come in right now. Now this is a Zoom hearing. This is actually a Zoom hearing. This is a judge that did a Zoom hearing, and you're gonna see at first it's gonna come in where she's gonna have about 10 people in that Zoom hearing. That's just different cases, but then they're gonna narrow it down. When she starts getting into it, you're actually, hey Naya. Oh, wow. Manchester, England. All right. Welcome. You guys are going to actually see where when they start the court proceedings, you're going to see them, cut everybody out. So let's go ahead and let me go ahead and get it started so we can go ahead and start that. Let me see.
Refusing dad visitation. Dad's attorney is asking for jail time and fines. Will Judge Manning send mom to jail? Let's find out.
You go to use the bathroom and your underwear is so wet in the, up in the thighs and down the crotch area. It's like this hourglass.
All right. So we've got a contempt here. I'm not expecting a court reporter or anything like that, right?
Correct.
All right. If both parties raise their right hand for me. You swear firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, sir?
Yes.
Ma'am? You're on mute, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you put your hands down. So is there any witnesses besides the two parties?
All right, let me just say it again for those who are entering. This is Judge Manning. This is Judge Manning. This is a husband. The man down in the corner, that's Kevin. His name is Kevin. He is an attorney in Georgia, and you will see the wife in the corner. Okay, the attorney is for the husband. The wife is pro se. This is a where she has refused visitation. He is finding her, or he's asking for her to be held in contempt because she has refused visitation to him. So just listen to it carefully. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to go through the most important things, okay?
No.
All right. All right. Ma'am, do you have any witnesses besides yourself?
No, sir.
All right. It's not sir, but that's okay. Anyway, all right. So this is limited to 1 hour. At 11 o'clock, I have to take a break and let the other motions in. 1 hour period. All right. Go ahead, counsel. Y'all can go straight into it. I don't necessarily need, wait, who's Keenan Peoples? Did you hire a lawyer, ma'am?
No.
Keenan, no, stop. Must be here early for the motions. All right. Yeah, go ahead, counsel.
Okay. I can be brief. You said you didn't want to go into, you just want to go right into it? Is that what
Right. Yeah, I don't need openings. You just, I've got the case pulled up in front of me, so.
Okay. All right. Then, Mr. Cobb, I'm going to just kind of quickly go back to the temporary order, which was entered in November 23rd, 2021.
Okay, so you guys, let me say this really, really quick. What he's getting ready to do now is he's getting ready to actually go in the order that was the actual order, and then he's going to go into the motion that they filed to get her in contempt. So that's what he's reading now, but he's only going to read the part where they feel that she was in contempt. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt. Promise.
And do you recall what the general terms of visitation you were awarded in that temporary order are?
The original order, I get one Wednesday's dinner with my daughter on Wednesdays, and then I get every other weekend, Friday to Sunday.
Okay. And that was entered in November of 2021. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you recall being back here for a hearing on contempt of that order on May 5th, 2022?
Correct. After that hearing, the original order, I only got to visit my daughter, I think a limited amount of times, and I went 4 to 5 months without seeing her. That's when we filed for another contempt. That's what we filed for the first
Well, hold on.
contempt. And,
All right, let me just, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you the contempt order. Let's just go ahead and address what the general terms of visitation were there. So the contempt order was entered on May 9th, 2022. Okay, so in that contempt order, how many, according to paragraph 3 of the contempt order, how many days did the court find that you were denied parenting time?
total of 21 days, 72 Wednesday visits.
Okay, y'all, really, really quick. All right, so what's happening here is she's already been found in contempt one time already for denying him visitation. So he is actually pointing out to the judge that she has already been found in contempt already before. Okay, so he just making that's what he's saying now.
72 hours of one-day visits, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in that temporary order, what were you awarded for makeup visitation? If you look at paragraph 7 to the order.
30 consecutive days of parenting time.
Okay. And when was that supposed to be from? What dates?
June 10th through July, around July 3rd. Well, originally June 10th to July 10th. Then
Okay.
it was modified for a couple of days after.
All right. Well, I'll get back to that. Okay. So let's see. And down here. Okay. All right. Let me stop the sharing for a second. Let's go back to, all right. So did you get your daughter on or around June 10th of this year for the extended parenting time?
I received her a day late, but I did receive her.
Okay. And did you keep her for the whole 30 days?
No, I didn't keep her for the entire 30 days.
Okay. And what day did you return her to her mother?
June 29th.
Okay. And actually, just to provide a little bit of context for the court, let me back up. Where does your daughter and her mother currently reside?
Northridge, California.
Okay. And where do you reside?
I travel for work, but Atlanta, Georgia is my primary residence.
So what the attorney is now doing is establishing jurisdiction. That's what he's doing. He's establishing jurisdiction as to why the court is over this particular contempt order.
Okay. And did you also have did you have a residence in California near them?
Yes, I have another residence in Burbank.
Okay. And were there any proceedings, legal proceedings addressing custody of your child addressed in California while this case was pending?
Yes, we had a domestic violence restraining order against Charlotte, in which they were trying to determine jurisdiction and controls over visitation.
Okay. And did California determine that they have jurisdiction or no?
No, they determined that it would that Georgia would retain jurisdiction.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to this past summer visit.
Okay, before he gets into that, did y'all understand what just happened? So basically, she took the child and she moved to California. She moved to California. Okay, so she made her residence to be California, but the order is in Georgia. So what she tried to do, she tried to get the order moved to California. California rejected it. California rejected it and kept it in Georgia. So that establishes jurisdiction. So whatever happens in California, they did not take jurisdiction over this case. They refused it. Okay. That's what he was trying to establish. They did go to court in California because she moved there. They were residents of Georgia, but she moved. So, hey, SD, but she moved, which was, one, he ain't even fighting that, But anyway, proceeding on.
Why, can you explain to the court why you returned her early? So I think you testified you returned her about 10 days early. Can you explain what happened and why?
Yes, during the course of my visitation, I noticed that my daughter and her mother were communicating a lot. And at the time, my daughter was becoming more aggressive and violent towards me. She physically attacked me at one point, in which she talked to her mother, and her mother ended up harassing me and calling the police and stuff like that. So during that time, I also arranged for my daughter to go to therapy because of her aggressive behavior. So during the time I had her, she went to about 3 therapy appointments, and speaking with the therapist was advising me that my daughter didn't feel safe and like she could trust me because of the alienation from her mom for the past really 3 years, but at least the prior 4 months without having any contact with her. So it was recommended that I try to do what I can to show my daughter that she can trust me, and I wasn't trying to keep her away from anybody. So me, my daughter, and her mother agreed that I would let her spend a couple days with her mom for the holiday break, and I would then pick her back up and continue my visitations to show that my daughter that, I trust you, you can trust me, to build that relationship slowly.
Okay. And when you said the holiday, which holiday are you referring to?
July 4th.
Okay, so let me stop it right there really quick. All right, Bridget. So let me stop it right there. So what he's saying right now is, y'all know that during the summer, fathers get extended visitation. It can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days. That happens sometimes, especially in Georgia. From 2 weeks, they can get an extended to 30 days because the child is not in school. So they get an extended time. His extended time was 30 days. Okay, he's saying the last time that he had his child, she was very disrespectful toward him. She became very violent toward him. Hey, Special K. Hey, Real YouTube T. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, D-Ham. She was very violent to her father. She act like she, didn't want to do anything. This is what he's saying. And so he actually wanted to get her in therapy. Okay. He notified the mother. He wanted to get her in therapy to see why she was acting like that. Okay. So this is during the 30 days. But then I believe that he returned the daughter early because she became very, very, I guess, disrespectful. And this is where they're at now. And then they're going to get into what he is asking for going forward. So listen to that. How old, Erica? I believe the daughter may be like 12 or 13. She's a little bit of an older daughter. Maybe a little bit younger than that. I don't think they even said how old the child was, but the child is young. But they're going to show a video of the child and how she was very aggressive toward the dad.
And did you discuss that with Ms. Cobb?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And was it your understanding she agreed to return Madison a few days later or after July 4th?
Yes, I had already booked flights back I had already booked flights here to let her spend a couple days with her mom. Her mom did agree to that before I did that because I was in Atlanta during the time, and I was booking flights to try to bring her back to also complete my visitation in California. But yes, her mom agreed to it.
Okay. And then that day that you returned to June 29th, did Ms. Cobb then talk to you on the phone about this agreement or this visitation issue?
Yes. As soon as I dropped her off, her mother called me and was ranting about something about me and my girlfriend and saying that don't come around her child anymore, don't contact her, don't speak to her anymore. And I'll have to go through her and basically threatening me.
Okay.
As soon as I dropped her off.
Did you record any of that conversation?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the recording. If you could just verify that it is the recording. Give me one moment.
We print tabletops that get your brand seen up close and retractable banners that stop everyone in their tracks. We print A4.
All right, so does that initially sound like Ms. Cobb?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play the recording now. And where did you record the conversation?
I was literally just dropped my daughter off. I was in my car headed back to my residence in California.
And did she call you or you call her?
She called me.
Okay, all right. I'm going to play the recording now.
Apartment. That girl stared me in my eye, and that's and it's nasty. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Well, you enjoy your little 23-year-old girl. You enjoy your little girlfriend when she leaves your ass and your family is done. You're gonna be fucking crying.
All right.
You're gonna be crying because she will leave your ass. She doesn't want your ass. She's using your ass. No wonder why she's staying with you. Y'all living fucking hilarious.
All right.
You gotta be kidding me.
Bye. Please.
No, don't call me no more. Don't call my child no more. Don't call me no more. Don't call my child no more. Don't call me no more. Thank you for bringing my child back. You ever put your hands on my child again, I will fuck you up personally.
Okay, so Mr. Cobb,
Okay, so y'all know the importance of recording stuff. Y'all know the importance of recording stuff. He just recorded it just for that little bit of time because they got into it. That's it. But y'all can hear how she said she was upset about his 23, 24-year-old girlfriend. You see that he was not combative back. And she said that, you're not going to see me or y'all, they still married. So don't forget that. Don't contact me or my daughter again. So, and this was, well, let me let it play.
was it, how soon after you dropped Madison off did Charlotte call you?
3 minutes, maybe.
Okay, so is it your understanding, what was Madison in the car with her?
Well, I dropped Madison off at her residence, so I'm not sure where she was at the time, but I would assume somewhere in her apartment.
Okay, all right. And so in that phone call, she says she's not going to let you see Madison again, correct?
Correct.
Has she fulfilled that promise?
Yes, she has. I haven't spoke to my daughter since I dropped her off on June 30th.
All right.
29th.
And I'm going to show you a copy of what we've marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 1. All right. What is this? Is this your text message?
Yes, this is me texting my daughter. At the time that I'm supposed to get her back, that couple of days after I dropped her off.
Okay. And what were you texting her on these dates? July 3rd, July 4th?
I was texting her, I love her, and that we're supposed to go to Universal and Six Flags like I promised her that I would the following day after the holiday.
Okay. So after you dropped her off on June 29th, was it your expectation that you'd be having her by July 5?
Yes, that was a Tuesday. It was not supposed to be crowded at the theme in amusement parks, and we were going to spend our days and the rest of our visitation there.
All right. And then did Madison return any of these text messages?
No.
Okay. Now, with respect to the visitation with Madison after July 5 up until the present, can you tell the court how many days you've been denied, how many overnights you've been denied?
12 overnights.
Okay. How many Wednesday visits?
18.
Okay. And do you reach out to Ms. Cobb in an effort to get the visitation?
I email her mother weekly, and I text Madison almost daily for the last 3 months.
I'm showing you what we've marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 3. Are these copies of emails from you to Ms. Cobb?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. So the emails have been redacted. The emails have been redacted, so you can't see it because it is between a minor child and her father's. I'm sorry. The emails are between the mother and the father. But if y'all don't get it, the little girl name is Madison. He had been trying to contact Madison on her phone, but she is ignoring him. She is not responding. This is when he dropped the child off. He was supposed to get her a week later. And for some reason, she's not responding to him. The mother's not responding to him, not answering any of his emails. The daughter's not answering any of his text messages. Sound familiar?
And is that the email address that you historically communicate with her on?
Yes.
Okay, so this one starts on July 8th, 2022. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, and this goes number of emails all the way to September 15th, 2022. Do you see that?
Yes.
And in general, what are you asking Ms. Cobb in these emails?
When can I visit with my daughter? Can she at least call me? Just time with my daughter, all of them.
And has Ms. Cobb responded to any one of these communications?
No, not one.
Now, in this contempt proceeding, are you asking for just some slight modifications to the visitation to sort of firm it up so there's definitive dates that you could enforce if you had to?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to show you a copy of what we've marked previously as plaintiff's exhibit number 7. It's just a summary. Is this a summary of the dates you're asking things are changed to in this schedule?
Okay, so y'all, in the contempt, y'all, this is like a formal contempt paper. That's something way different than what I read or the documents that I read. So hey, Healing Hearts. So basically right now they're going to, remember I told y'all where whenever they do a contempt, they have to ask for what they want. That means a relief. What do you want to see happen? If we find this person in contempt, what do you want us to do? In this case, you will see that he did ask for a modification, but he's asking for several things, and he's going to read out the things that he wants. So he's going to read out what the father is asking the courts to do to satisfy, the fact that he feels that she is in contempt.
Schedule?
Correct. Yes.
All right. So you're asking for it to be, instead of every other weekend, every first, third, and fifth weekend of the month. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And then it looks like you changed you're asking that the weekends change from like Friday to Sunday to Saturday at 11 until Sunday at 8 p.m. Do you see that?
Correct.
And how come you're asking for that modification?
Because of the denial in the past and the fact that I can't be settled and I might have to travel for work because of the expenses that have incurred because of these contempt hearings, and me just not having a consistent life. I have to opt for employment that pays more, that causes me to travel, and it can better ensure that I can at least try to fly and see her on a Saturday versus maybe not get her on Fridays. And it just makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to do visits.
Right. And if there's definitive dates and times, and you need to involve law enforcement, is that something you're looking for an ability to do?
Also, yes, the definitive dates and times. So if law enforcement needs to, so there's no question about that.
So, and let's talk a little bit about, and you're still asking for every Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. Is that right?
Correct. If I'm out of town, I would at least like video chats or phone calls.
I want to say hey to everybody coming in the chat. I really can't see because I'm actually on a different screen than you guys. You guys can see me, but I can't see you. So I'm not neglecting speaking to anybody, but hey to everybody coming in. Hey, Danny, Hey, April. Hey, Roz. I think I spoke to Special K. So I'm not ignoring you. Hey, Bridget. I'm not ignoring you. It's just I'm on a different screen. Hey, Diane. Hey, Doris.
Definitive times during my time.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about makeup time that you're asking for here. What are you asking to have your daughter for this Thanksgiving?
The Friday after Thanksgiving, 9 a.m. until that Sunday, 8 p.m.
Okay. And then let's talk about the Christmas time. What are you asking for as far as consecutive days go around the Christmas vacation time?
I would like to have her as soon as she's out of school on December 17th, according to the California school schedule, all the way until the 28th. That's through Christmas. I was supposed to get her last Christmas, and I was denied that visitation. And also my regular visitation would fall during Christmas this year. So I wanted to make sure it's ensured that I have her for that time.
Okay. And you researched the day that she gets out of school for the holiday. Is that right?
According to the California education calendar, that's correct, but I still haven't received the court-ordered her school information. So I'm just going off of the states.
Okay.
Because I have had no contact and I don't know exactly the school that she's enrolled in or the timing. All I know is last I checked that her mom claimed that she was homeschooled, but she hasn't provided the documents saying where she's enrolled or any programs or activities.
Okay. And are you asking that Ms. Cobb is ordered to provide you with all of Madison's education records?
Correct, and current, whatever the school gives her as far as grading, monthly, weekly updates, I would like those ordered to be emailed to me and shared with me. And that I also have access to contact and verify things with her teachers to check her progress.
Okay. All right. And then about looking back to the schedule here, are you asking for some parenting time the next spring break as well?
Correct. I would like to have set dates during her spring break holiday.
And what dates are you asking for? What days?
The Wednesday to the Sunday.
Okay. And then just scrolling down here towards the bottom, in the event the case is not concluded, what are you asking for these two last holidays here on paragraphs F and G?
Memorial Day weekend, Friday until Memorial Day at 8, and Friday before Father's Day until July 1st.
All right. And are you asking for an order of incarceration for Ms. Cobb related to the denial of visitation?
Yes, considering I have had limited visitation, been denied visitation for the last few years with my daughter, I think that's the only way that I can have it enforced and that I can check on the health and the mental wellness of my child, check her schooling. The last time that I had my daughter for that short period of time, I was deeply concerned with her mental health. That's why she was I was trying to get her enrolled in therapy, and I am truly concerned about her health.
Okay. Now, and just to touch on that last document we'll go over here, was there an altercation that happened between you and Madison during the visit?
Yes, there was an altercation where she struck me. She had a panic attack. She was just very aggressive.
Is that the video, Mr. Cobb?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, y'all see what he's asking for. He's asking for her to be incarcerated. He's very calm. Yes, Bridget. He's asking for her to be incarcerated. He's asking for his visitation time to be modified. He's asking for certain holidays, and he's asking for specific times. So he's being very, very precise and very, very specific. When you leave it so broad, when it's very broad, that means that it's room to break and this room to go into contempt. Hey, Shay Shay. Is room to go. Now, what they're doing now is he's just talking about where the daughter is very aggressive toward him. And he believes that the reason why she's aggressive is because the last time he had her, she spoke with her mom, and her mom told her, you don't have to listen to your dad. You can go to bed anytime you want to. Your dad can't tell you what to do. So in the midst of that, and she's in her dad's care at this time. So she became very rebellious. She became very rebellious during this time. So that's when they got into this altercation. So that's the last thing that they're pointing out here.
Yes.
Right. And is that your daughter?
Yes.
Phone.
Go to sleep, Madison.
Give my phone.
Madison,
You
go to
told me to
sleep.
go to class. Listen.
Go to sleep.
I'm gonna have to go to class. Give my phone.
Go to sleep.
Give my phone. Give my
Madison,
phone.
put that down.
No, give my phone. My phone.
All right. So, Mr. Cobb, why was Madison mad at you at that point?
Earlier the day, I think she was talking to her mom, and her mom was telling her she doesn't have to basically follow my rules. She doesn't have to go to sleep. She's on LA time. She doesn't have to listen to me. And she's just, she was just, didn't trust me and just raging. I'm not even sure if she really knows, but she just has a lot of anger.
All right, Judge, I don't have any further questions for Mr. Cobb.
Ma'am, do you have any questions specifically for him that relates to this case?
Now, y'all, before I play her, let me just tell you, for those who have seen this, you know where this is getting, you know what turn this is getting ready to take, okay? So this is a difference, you guys, in being, I know everybody gets very anxiety when they go to court in front of a judge, anything that has to do with law, police, everybody gets that anxiety in them, okay? Even I still do. Hey, Yellow Blossom, even I still do. You know what I'm saying? Even though I be around it all the time, I still do. But this is the difference between having legal counsel and not having legal counsel. Now listen to this girl and what she says, and you're gonna see a very irritated judge.
Yes, I do. Mr. Cobb, is that you and your attorney, Mr. Kevin, requested for our daughter to have her own attorney?
You're breaking up. What you say?
Is it true that you and your attorney, the last time we were in contempt court, you requested for our daughter Madison to have her own attorney?
She's talking about a GAL. She don't even know. She's talking about a guardian ad litem. That's what she's talking about.
I'm not sure. Kevin, did we?
Well, if I could interject, Judge, I think she's referring to the motion for a guardian ad litem, which the judge addressed, and the issue was cost.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And is it true that you guys asked to dismiss her getting her own attorney?
Did she just not hear? Clearly, the attorney said that it was addressed at the last contempt hearing, and the issue was due to cost. So it was not moved forward. She turns around and asks a question that was just answered.
A few weeks ago, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, the last time we were in court. Is that true?
I don't, Kevin, did I?
As Mr. Pomola said, it was fees, payment.
It was so Mr. Cobb, remember the judge brought it up. They wouldn't provide a one at no cost through ABLF, and it was a cost issue.
Yeah,
So I think Charlotte's referring to the guardian ad litem when she says the attorney for Madison.
I got you. So there was supposed to be, we're asking for a guardian, asked one through ABLF, and obviously people made too much money or something came up with that probably. So you would have to pay one if one was appointed. Am I kind of on there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Yeah.
Move on, ma'am.
Yes. Mr. Cobb, who is Elizabeth Mayberry?
That's their attorney and representative that I used in California.
Okay. is it true that you guys were trying to move the custody to California?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
All right. So, ma'am, what we're going to focus on is the contempt that's claimed here, and that is the withholding of visitation and everything that's noted in there. Not going forth about whether or not the case is going to be handled in California or Georgia, because I don't care. It's here.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. Is it true that on June the 19th, within the second week of within the first week and a half that you had our daughter for the long visitation, that you guys got into an altercation where you choked her?
No, it's not true. But we
Okay.
did get into an altercation. Well, she attacked me.
Okay. Is it true that the police were looking for you for 2 days?
I have no idea when.
Hold on. He's not going to know what the police were doing. So move on.
Okay. Is it true that family services was called that the police ordered?
Objection. Relevance.
Well,
You don't object his counsel does. That question made no sense.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. Is it true that the police did locate you guys after the second day of looking for you?
Crazy.
Well,
I don't
objection
know
again.
when.
It's just the form of the question. She's assuming that he knows about the police looking for him. He's testified he doesn't know about the police looking for him.
Listen, y'all, I'm so sorry. I got to stop it right there. Special K, you said it so right. She reached. Listen, she's reaching. She is trying to introduce a third party, which would be law enforcement and what did she say? Defects or whatever, child, whatever. That's introducing a third party. You cannot do that. And here's another problem. The problem is you're going outside the contempt order. That's why I was telling y'all the other day, you can put all this stuff in there, but the judge only is going to stick to the contempt. That's it. That's all. You may have a valid situation, but right. Special K, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's totally irrelevant. And you're going to see that throughout this. It's totally irrelevant. You have to stick to the contempt. You can't go outside of that. And she's going to keep forgetting that every single time. Which that's why I laugh, y'all, because it's not funny, but it's just, we'll see. No, Lucky 8, she's a no nonsense type of judge. She's no nonsense.
Okay. So then he can't answer anything about whether or not they were looking for him for 1 day, 2 days, whatever. So move on.
Okay. Sorry. Is it true that the police did speak with you?
Yes.
Okay, because I could provide a case number.
He said they did.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. It was a lag in I didn't hear it. Sorry.
It said it was a wellness check. What?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm assuming that you called.
Don't argue. Go ahead. Next question.
Yes. Sorry. I'm trying not to cut you off. It's lagging a little bit. Is it true that family services was ordered through the police department?
No, stop. Man, he won't know what the police did. I want you to focus on what's alleged. He won't know what police did or what action they took, okay? So, move on.
Yes, he does, but he doesn't know.
He don't know what the police did. For all he knows, you called defects. He doesn't know that the police, it's confidential. Next question.
Okay. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so first thing you do is you're asking a question you don't know the answer to. So he doesn't know what the police did. Okay. Once they leave him, he has no clue. Next question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Okay. Is it true that defects did come out and speak with you and our daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
And they told me the exact same thing I'm telling here. They said that obviously they can tell my daughter's been coached
All right.
And I need to put
I
in
want to hear. Well, she wants to hear what they said. They told you she's big coach. Next question.
Okay. Oh my God. Is it true?
and they close the case.
Ma'am, all right, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Is it true that I'm trying to think if I have anything to ask him because it's like I'm shaking over here. Is it true that you didn't provide all the addresses that our daughter was staying at, which was a court order?
Okay, so let me tell you, she got one there. She got one there. She did get one, but it's in reference to the contempt. So remember, y'all, she got to stay within the contempt. All the extra grievances, she don't want to hear it. No, and that's mainly all judges. They don't want to hear but what the contempt is about. So she did get them here. She got one in, but I can tell you that's probably all she's gonna get in. But she got one in right here. She probably, and you're right, she don't really know what to say. But let me see. I don't want to miss anybody that came in. I got JB. What's going on, girl? Robin. Yes, they are married now, Robin. I think hey Key. Hey Miss Steele. Just trying to make sure I got everybody. What's going on, Shay Shay? Yes, this judge, yes, real YouTube T. Yes, Judge Manning is out of Georgia. She's in Fulton County. Yes. Okay. Hey, Alicia. So y'all, again, if I miss you, it's not because it's purpose. It's because I cannot see the screen when the video is going. All right, let's keep going.
Objection relevance to the contempt proceeding, Your Honor.
How is that relevant to this contempt, ma'am?
Okay, is it true? I'm sorry. Is it true that you brought our daughter back? No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that question. I'm sorry. Is it true that you and your attorney requested for additional days before her 30-day visitation? That you requested for additional days because you had missed a weekend or a couple of days you was out of town?
Don't know what you're referring to.
Is it true that you requested you were going back and forth with my attorney that I had at the time, asking for more days, demanding more days, the week?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't know how that's relevant to what the claims are in the motion for contempt we filed.
And so you got to focus on what's filed.
Because he was supposed to have our daughter more than 30 days. He was supposed to get her.
And he said that. He said he returned her early, but that contempt motion that you were served, that's what you need to focus on.
Okay. Is it true that you called me? Is it true that you called me 1 or 2 days before you returned her to say that you were bringing her back early?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that you told me that we should sit down and see a mediator without our attorneys being present?
Objection. I mean, that's fine, but it's not relevant to the contempt proceeding, Your Honor.
Yeah, it really isn't relevant.
So again, I have to keep saying this, y'all. And I know y'all probably mad at me like, Sean, stop checking the video. But I have to reiterate, y'all. I have to reiterate. It is so important that even though you may have grievances, even though you may have legit grievances, like, and just I have to make this as an example only because this is in relation is when I was telling you guys in one of the contempt orders from, I believe it was Robert's contempt orders, where he was talking about other things, they had nothing to do with the contempt. The contempt, they're only going to go by the contempt. And when you take it outside the contempt, the judge is not going to hear it. He's going to, because that's not her, or that's not their thing. She's a family court. It's family court. Then you have contempt. That's not their thing. So they're not going to rule on it, but they can't practice law from the bench. So that's why I was saying what I was saying the other day when I was pointing out what was contempt and what wasn't, because it's contempt based on the divorce decree only, just the divorce decree. They're not going to address anything else. And see, that's how you end up getting embarrassed in court, is when you start bringing up outside stuff. Then you're going to honestly piss a judge off. You're going to piss him off, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Is it true that you have spoken to our daughter several times over the phone, and she mentioned to you that she was headed to an audition or coming back from audition?
No, she texted me one time saying that she was at an audition and did not follow up since the time that I dropped her off with you. I have not talked to her, text her, or anything other than that time. And I don't even know if that text came from you. I can't even verify that text came from.
Ma'am, I want you to focus on what's alleged in this petition, this motion for contempt, okay? Because I'm not following the questions you're asking.
Okay, I don't have any more questions for him. If I could just speak my piece when it's time, that's fine.
Right.
But
counsel, do you have anything?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
All right. Or do you want to call her on cross first?
No, she can proceed. We rest our case.
All right. Go ahead, ma'am.
yes. So I'll be very quick because
Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna say this before she starts. I'm gonna kind of skim through this. If y'all seen it, you've seen it. But I am gonna skim through this part, because what she's getting ready to do is she's getting ready to put on a whole venting show. Okay, that has nothing to do with the contempt. Nothing, not one thing. And like I said, the judge is going to say several times, stick to the topic. What does it have to do with the contempt? Even though her grievances may be very valid, but it has nothing to do with contempt. You have to stick with the decree, or not decree. I'm thinking about the LaTruth stuff. You have to stick with the order that's right there in front of you. So she's going to get ready to rant. So I'm going to you can see a little bit of that, but y'all, my patience ain't for that. So I'm going to let you see a little bit of it. Hey, sir. Okay. Some of y'all have seen it, but for the most part, I'm going to let you guys look at a little bit of it, because she's getting ready to take it to a whole nother level. And, this is what exactly, Lucky A, this is where people mess up. Pro se, when they go in there and they just carry on about this person, that person, well, we did this and he did this and he did that. They'll let you do it for a little while. They will. But, after a while, it's like, okay. Okay, so hold on. I promise y'all, we're going to get to the comments in a minute. I just want to get through this first.
don't want to waste your time. I'm sorry I can't hear it as well, but I'm leaning over closer to the phone. When the first contempt order took place back in, I believe it was May, I'm not sure the exact dates. I didn't have an attorney, so I was kind of representing myself. I didn't know if I was supposed to wait till I go to court just to explain to them why I was keeping Mr. Cobb away from my daughter. The last visitation he had before the month of May, he left our daughter in a hotel room.
Oh, objection, Your Honor. We actually covered all of that in the May 5th hearing, and that was addressed at court with Judicial Officer Dombrowski.
Judge Houston. All right, so Judge Houston already heard that. I don't want to relitigate anything else, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I brought it up because they brought the first contempt up. Okay. So moving forward.
They were laying out. They were laying out a little bit of history for me, but I've got it. So that was decided by Judge Houston.
Yes. So when we returned to court and they honored him, the missing days, the missing days for him to get the 30 days when she finished her school, when she gets out of school for the end of the school year. I believe it was 30 days before it was time for him to pick.
Serenity Speaks, this was, I believe this was at the end of 2022 going into 2023 when this happened. This happened about 1 year ago. So it was about 2020, end of 2022, end of 2023 when this court date happened. So COVID was still an issue, but it wasn't as strong as it was in 2020 and 2021. So yeah.
Pick her up that week of, which was the week of the 10th. His attorney was going back and forth with my attorney at this time, back and forth demanding more time because we.
I mean, that's what lawyers do.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yes. So we added more days at time. Mr. Cobb didn't get her on the 10th. He picked her up on the 11th because she was sick. She did go to urgent care. We provided that information with. So he came and got her on June 11th. During this time, I didn't speak with Mr. Cobb at all. The one time I tried to speak with him just to kind of, be cordial, he was real nasty and hostile. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to talk to him at all. I'll just, communicate with my daughter. At the time, I really wasn't calling my daughter that much. She was calling me. She'll FaceTime me. So when she FaceTime me, she just showed me her little dance moves and just being a kid, right?
So, all right, Ms. Cobb, I'm sorry, I hate to, but since I was a few minutes late doing this, it's 11:01. Let me let these other folks in and we'll start, okay? Just give me 1 second, let these other people in for the rest of my calendar.
Okay. Do I get to finish? I'm sorry.
I think Ms. Cobb is testifying.
Okay, so basically, y'all, she have let her other people in, other lawyers, she's let lawyers in, she's let other, this is other cases that she has. So remember I tell y'all that the judge has a lot more cases that they do, contempts that they do all day long, but they're going to let her continue her little rant for just a little while longer, not much longer, I can tell you that.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Cobb. Get on to relevant stuff.
Yes, I will. I'm sorry. I'm all off track. I'm sorry. So going back to the day in question, which was June the 19th. I got the most devastating texts and missed phone calls from my daughter, saying that Mr. Cobb.
Objection, Your Honor, she can't testify to what the daughter.
Ms. Cobb, your daughter's not here. I can't hear what your daughter told you. Move on.
Okay, so yes, I'll move on. So I call Mr. Cobb. I call our daughter. I FaceTime my daughter, and she's crying, she's screaming, he's yelling in the background. So I'm seeing all this on FaceTime. So I'm witnessing this now. He's yelling at her, she's yelling back, she's crying. I never seen her act like this before. She just traumatized to me. So I'm trying to calm the situation down, not taking sides, just trying to figure out what.
All right, here come the dramatics. Here comes the dramatics. Okay, here it comes.
What's going on? Mr. Cobb snatched the phone from her. He told me he was going to call me back to let me know what was going on. He never called me back. So I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I'm calling. So then I said, so then I call the police because I'm in LA. They're in Atlanta, staying at an Airbnb. So I called the police. When the police got there, we realized that Mr. Cobb did not provide the full correct address to the Airbnb. He's supposed to provide the address, which was ordered by our last judge.
Special K, girl, you are funny. You are funny.
So they spent hours trying to find him. I'm on the phone with them. They spent hours. They finally came back the next day because I was able to finally speak to my daughter. Sorry, somebody interrupted.
Somebody else unmuted. They're not. Go ahead.
Yes, I had to speak to my daughter in codes. It took maybe almost a full 24 hours before I heard from my daughter. Mr. Cobb did send me a text message of my daughter like laid on the couch, but I didn't see her face. All I saw was her covered up in a blanket. That was his response when I said, the cops are out there looking for you. They just want to do a wellness check. That's it. And he sent a text and I'm like, I mean, I want to see my daughter. He was either outside of the Airbnb.
So
somewhere.
objection, Your Honor, because she's testifying for her daughter, who's not testifying because the information would have only came from her daughter. So objection.
Yeah, don't want stuff from your daughter. If you weren't there, ma'am, I don't want to hear it. You weren't there.
Okay, so it's times where she will FaceTime me.
Hey, love cat.
And she will turn the camera to show me that he's on the balcony. So he was always on the balcony, which is fine if that's what he does. So after all that happened, I know DFACS came out because Mr. Cobb texted me that DFACS Family Services had came out. At that time, I didn't speak with Family Services, the Family Services until a month or maybe 45 days after the whole incident happened. After Family Services arrived and spoke with my daughter, a couple days later, they decided to order. A couple days later, they decided to vacate.
Your Honor, they're not here to testify, so it's hearsay.
They're not here, ma'am, and I already know that about Family Services. So if you could focus on this, on the contempt, on what we're talking about here.
Okay. So Mr. Cobb had vacated the Airbnb. They went to.
Thank you, Miss Steele, for the tea. I appreciate you. I just got it. Thank you so much.
Two different locations without my knowledge. I didn't know where my daughter was at. I received a phone call on a Monday afternoon.
Girl.
I've never seen my daughter.
Okay, hold on.
Two different locations without my knowledge. I didn't know where my daughter was at.
I was talking about.
I received a phone call on a Monday afternoon saying that he was bringing our daughter back in 2 days. And I'm like, oh, okay. And this was maybe a week after this whole incident supposedly took place.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. They're just letting her ramble. I promise you. They're just letting her get it out. That's it. But it ain't got nothing to do with the contempt. Not one thing. Not one thing.
The choking of the neck. So I okay. So he brings her back. I didn't speak with him in between those 2 days. He brought her back. I didn't even know they were back in town yet until they were actually pulling up for me to come outside and get my daughter. I didn't speak to Mr. Cobb. I didn't say one word to Mr. Cobb. When we got into the elevator, my daughter started screaming, crying, shaking.
Hold on, before she does that, Dawn said that they have a question. What is your question? You can put your question in the comments. And Miss Murray, you're right. I believe they do have counseling though. But yeah, you can ask a question. For example, what not to do in court, and don't step no one's court with. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, when it has to do with a child, Sean, the judge ordered RH and Bree not to have any contact until the harassment charges are reviewed because of safety reasons. I'm be honest with you, I really don't want to get into the whole Bree Robert thing. Actually, I'm just, you know what, but I don't even know about harassment charges, Dawn. I don't know about any harassment charges. Were there harassment charges? If there is, I don't know anything about that. I know. Are you talking about the contempt? If you're talking about the contempt, I'm not sure. Kind of reword your question because I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Here it comes.
I've never seen my daughter act like that before. She was so scared. She was so scared. And as a mother, I could not protect her. She was so scared. I'd never seen her. She is so sweet. She is so sweet. No mother want to have to go through this. So when I got her in the house, I just hugged her. I didn't even want her to tell me anything. Anything. I didn't want to hear it. I just want to hug you. It's okay. We'll talk about it later. So she started saying stuff. She started telling me things he did. And I called him. So the video that the audio that he played, some of it is missing. That's not the whole part. That's not the entire part. The first part is cut off. He actually called her on her phone. I didn't call him. And I told him, you keep that girlfriend away from my daughter because it was ordered by the court. You don't be talking.
And there you have it, you guys. The girlfriend. There you have it. That's the real problem.
To my daughter about the girlfriend. And I told him,
Your Honor, objection. Your Honor, objection. This really has nothing to do with the contempt.
Miss Cobb, you got to focus on the contempt. If there's any other issue, if you folks have something else coming up in front of Judge Newkirk or Judge Houston, you can take that up in front of them. All right. This is about the contempt.
Okay. When he dropped her off, he mentioned to me that if he before he dropped her off, they're on their way. This before I see him, because I didn't speak to him when I saw him. I didn't want to say anything to him, but I spoke to him on the phone when they were on their way. Maybe a few minutes before they were pulling up, he called me, and he's having this conversation with me, saying that I'll try to reach out to you later on this week. If I don't answer, don't think of it as anything. Just give me some time. And I'm like, what? So I just ignored it. So when he got there, so when he got there, that was it.
Hold on. Jeff's iPhone. You're driving. I see you driving. By blue shirt. He's driving. He's driving, Mr. Wyatt. He's driving, and I'm not going to be responsible.
Okay, as y'all know, judges will not take cases when people are driving. So she just stopped in the case because she's talking to other people in the chat. But let me go back up here. I see there's a question real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer Don Perry's question. So in the contempt that it was harassing her through the parenting app, right? Okay. So here's the thing, y'all. Let me say this. Let me see. How can I say this? When I say this, it is what he is believed. That was in the parenting app. She put in her contempt that she believes that he is harassing her through social media, through podcasts, through whatever, etc., etc., etc. So that is what she believes. So she is wanting the judge to find him in contempt. I'm talking about Brian Robert. She is wanting the judge to find him in contempt. Okay. So I'm never going to say that he is in contempt or she is in contempt. They're trying to ask the judge to find the other party in contempt based on the order. Okay. So if she believes that that's what he was doing through the app, she will point that out during the court session. So that's just to go ahead and answer the question. I hope that I answered your question. I'm not sure if I did. I hope that I answered your question. So back to this, y'all.
For that. He's out of here. Go ahead, ma'am. And let me help you about it. Let me help you get back on track.
Okay.
The contempt is saying that you have refused him visitation. And it also refers back to Judge Houston's order in saying that I believe she ordered it's one of those skip page that you could be assessed up to $1,000 fine for each contempt of her order. Because when she heard the contempt, so this piggybacks on hers. Respondent required to pay a fine of $1,000 each this is just by the statute. But I don't want to rehear anything else. And this is strictly about denying visitation.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Strictly about denying visitation.
Okay. I was just responding to what they had. Only the weekdays.
You weren't answering his calls.
Not all of them. He didn't call that many times to me that he lost his job. So so he said he got fired or something from his job. So I left it as that he didn't want to get her the rest of those weeks.
Was he calling you and you were not returning his calls? Or
his rights for those next 2 or 3 weeks?
Who said that?
He was supposed to get her and not bring her back. It was no, you drop her off, bring her back. He would have her for a total of like 35, 36 days. At the time he was texting, saying he doesn't want to on the weekends, only the weekdays.
Okay, so right now, you guys, the judge is asking her questions so she can make her ruling. So she's asking about the child visitation, the days and the times that the husband was supposed to have the child, and she is asking him about the communication. She's asking him about the communication. So that's what the judge is doing now, asking her questions because she's getting ready to make her ruling.
Days. So, but I wasn't responding to any of the text message that he was sending to me. He said he wanted to see her only on the weekdays and not the weekend. He even mentioned to me that he lost his job. So, so he said he got fired or something from his job. So I left it as that he didn't want to get her the rest of those weeks.
Was he calling you and you were not returning his calls or answering his calls?
No, that's not true. I was not answering his phone calls, but my daughter, when he called my daughter phone, she always have her phone.
Okay, you just said it's not true. So you weren't answering his calls.
Not all of them. He didn't call that many times. So the few times he have called my phone, I have answered. I have not responded to his emails because his emails is for like court purposes only. So I have not responded to his emails. Every email, because what happens is what we discuss over the phone is not in line with what he says in an email. So it's almost looking like he's only doing this for show. This is my life, ma'am. This is my livelihood.
Oh God.
This is I can't lose my child.
Wait. How is your child your livelihood? That's kind of connected to money.
Has nothing to do with money. What I'm saying.
Okay. Well, when somebody says livelihood, typically that's related to money. That's
because he's causing me to lose money with attorneys. He's causing me to lose money with attorneys out here in LA, attorneys out here in Atlanta. It's so much back and forth. I don't know what he wants from me. Everything you said today has been not true. Most of the stuff, majority of the stuff he have said today has not been true. And it's sad. I'm not going to respond to emails. I told him to respond to my attorney.
So instead of co-parenting, you want him to go through your lawyer instead of you two talking about this child.
Because every email is a threat. Every email is a long threat. Every email is and then sometimes he's telling me to talk to his attorney. So when I finally I'm sorry, it did something weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So let me ask you a question. Did you give him parenting time on July 8th through the July 10th of this year?
July 8th
8th through July 10th.
He was supposed to bring her back on July 8th.
Did
No,
you
he
give
was-
him the weekend of July 8th through July 10th?
No, because he had already gave up his
Mhm.
35 days.
Did you give him July 22nd, the weekend of July 22nd through July 24th?
No,
All right. Did you give him his weekend of August 5th through August 7th?
no,
All right. Did you allow him the Wednesday evenings of July 6th,
no,
July 13th,
no. And we have a
July 20th,
no,
July 27th,
no,
August the 3rd?
no.
All right.
We have a pending restraining order here in LA that he's supposed to stay away from me and my daughter until we go to court. He's been avoiding getting served. So I have the temporary order right here. Right here. The case number is from
Yellow Blossom. No, they didn't make arrangements. There was no arrangements outside the parenting schedule. She has just not allowed him the dates that you see the judge saying, those are dates after his extended time when he brought the child back. And remember when they, I think the call was earlier when she was screaming and she was fussing and cussing at him. And she said, you will not see me or my child again or whatever. He hasn't seen her since. So that's why they're in court. He hasn't seen her since. So those are the dates that he was supposed to get her after that time, and she hasn't allowed it. Right, Special K. They only ask questions. Judges only ask questions they have the answer. You're exactly right. Losing his job and only wanted her during the weekend, not weekends. They had a discussion, but I think they were talking about modifying it, getting it modified. I think that's what they were discussing, getting it modified. We can see she going to jail. Sharon and Special K, y'all are a mess.
for him to stay away from me and my daughter until we go to court. He did not show up for court 2 weeks ago when the judge had mentioned to him that we had.
I want to hear what the judge says in California. It doesn't matter.
So I have an order
because I don't see an order that he has been served with, so it doesn't matter. Anything else you want to tell me that's relevant to this, to the contempt that was filed on his behalf?
Just that we have a temporary restraining order to protect me and my daughter until we go to court. So I'm not supposed to communicate with him, and my daughter not supposed to communicate with him as well. The order that's what's in this order. So I was just going off of what my attorney advice that my was giving me at the time, and I was going off of what the law here in California was giving me at the time. It's so many people involved. It's so confusing.
All right.
And one more thing, if I may.
Sure.
Our last judge, I think, I can't remember her name, Judge
Houston.
Houston. Had so many judges. Judge Houston, she had ordered that we both get mental evaluation. I have yet to see that form.
She needs one.
Or get any information from Mr. Cobb and his attorney.
I didn't even see you.
Every time we go to
a
court,
lot of the chat, y'all.
Mr. Cobb attorney has mentioned that has not been done yet. I've been in counseling for 2 years. I go consistently, and I have went to a psychiatrist. I'm still going to a psychiatrist until the court, until the court says, I don't have to go we don't have to go anymore. But he has not provided any type of mental evaluation whatsoever.
All right, Counselor, got any questions for her?
No, I don't.
I think he's done. I think
All right, closing.
He's just over it.
Yes, I'll just sum it up, Your Honor. Looking back to the contempt order from May 5th, entered on May 9th, 2022, Judge Houston found her in willful contempt. What she did in that instance, she denied visitation for approximately 4 months consecutively. It was the same scenario. My client would reach out, try to get time with the daughter. She would just ignore him. That's it. Sometimes she would have some comments, but had nothing to do with the visitation. And that's the exact same thing that's happened now. Mr. Cobb had the child for the extended visitation per the contempt order. He acknowledged that there were some issues with his relationship with the child that's very likely due to the strain that's been caused by the mother and the extreme alienation by not having any contact.
Not here.
Can you just wait until
he's doing a closing? He's doing a closing, ma'am. Then I hear last bit from you.
So, when he returned the child early, his expectation was that he would get her back for a few days on the back end of that 30-day or so extended visit. He didn't get her. The contempt that we filed has nothing to do with those, I guess, like 10 days or so that he didn't get. The contempt that we filed has to do with the schedule pursuant to the temporary order, which is that he gets every other weekend and every other Wednesday visits. And as you could see, that's continuously been denied. And as you could see or could hear on June 29th, she told my client to never touch. You're never going to see your daughter. You're never going to hear from your daughter. And don't ever touch her again. Don't come near her. And she's fulfilled that promise. She basically feels like she could do whatever she wants because she's in California with the child. And what we're asking for is an order of incarceration in addition to the time that we requested. And I could submit it to the court separately if that would be easier. But I think by changing in a modification proceeding the terms of visitation to specifics like first, third, and fifth weekend, as my client testified to, with some very specified times for the holidays, which I think he asked for Friday after Thanksgiving till Sunday night. And in addition to that, December 17th through, I think it was December 28th. If we have those specified times, then if he needs to enforce that in the locality where she is with the child, he'll be able to do that. But in addition to that, we requested attorney's fees on the May 5th hearing in the amount of $3,538. That said it was reserved for future hearing. We're requesting those attorney's fees. As you can see, she does not care what the order says. She's going to do whatever she wants with the child. That's become clear. In addition to those attorney's fees, we're asking for $1,225 in attorney's fees today, which is about 3.5 hours of time related to this contempt proceeding. My hourly rate's $350 per hour. Statutory basis is OCGA 1962. I think on the May 5th hearing, we did have testimony that addressed the fact that Ms. Cobb does have some income and some resources, which is all that is required for consideration by the court under OCGA 1962. So the total amount of attorney's fees we're requesting is $4,763. I would also ask the court to consider perhaps at least fining her for each violation that she's found to be in contempt of. We have that when we filed the contempt motion, it was mid-August. So all you saw there was some missed dates from July 8th until mid-August, I think. But the total as of today is 12 overnights that he's missed, 11 Wednesday dinners. And there's really nothing that I think is going to happen out of this unless Ms. Cobb realizes that there are repercussions to not following the court's order. With respect to the psychological evaluations, I don't know that that's at issue today. Judge Houston did order those. I haven't received Ms. Cobb's. If she did do that, I can get with my client on his and we could exchange it like the order said to, but I haven't received any of that. And I'm not aware that that's a contemptible issue today.
Jeff, I'm sorry. Jeff, in the blue shirt, you're driving. You come back when you've gotten where you're going to be and you can pull over. You're driving. Mr. Wyatt, call your client, tell him what driving is. Go ahead and finish up, counsel.
All right, that's about it. The only other thing we're requesting is that she is ordered to provide all the child's education records and updates regarding her education, as my client still continues to receive none from Ms. Cobb. That's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Cobb, sum it up. That's a summation. That's just a summation.
Yes. I just want to say, when Mr. Cobb decided to ask for my daughter for the first part of the summer, at that time, Mr. Kevin and our last judge, they knew that my daughter was in a lot of summer programs. I got her in a lot of free summer programs, discounted programs such as math tutoring, reading tutoring, horseback riding lessons, coding classes. They started questioning my parenting then, asking why she was doing so much. I was just, trying to give her something to do for the summer. When Mr. Cobb decided to take her, I didn't know he was taking her to Atlanta. He lives in Los Angeles. He stayed 15 minutes away from me. He has not lived in Atlanta in years. When he took her for the amount of time, because we were assuming he was going to get her for more than 30 days, she got dismissed from all the programs that she was supposed to participate in. So when Mr. Cobb abruptly brought her back with no reason, no explanation, no nothing. I knew nothing about him getting her counseling. I think that's something that should be shared between, parents. I never got a phone call from him once my daughter said she had got choked out from him. I never got a call, and I knew he did it because that's his.
Your Honor, objection. She's definitely she's testifying to facts that were never put into evidence, and she's just saying whatever she wants to say.
Yeah, this is just a summation of what was just said, Ms. Cobb.
Yes, yes. So when he brought her back, she wasn't able to.
No, this is a summation.
Yes.
This is a summation. This isn't new testimony.
Yeah. So when he brought her back, she missing out on enjoying the summer. And because now I am left as a single mom, I was a stay-at-home mom. He abandoned us. We're still married. I don't get any spousal support.
Objection again. This is nothing.
All right. Yeah, Ms. Cobb, this is not a time for you to vent. That's not what this is. I got it. You didn't let him see the child for the reasons that you stated. I got it. I'm ready to roll. Anything in 3 sentences or less that you want to say.
Yes, I was responding.
The contempt.
Yes, I was responding to Mr. Kevin when he asked him for me to pay something. I don't have any money to pay anything. I don't have anything. I don't work. So I'm just trying.
You can't find employment or what?
I had my small business that I had, just.
Hey, Krisha, enjoy your Saturday.
Still work out because of the pandemic. California was shut down for so long.
No, I understand that, but the pandemic's still here, but still. So when did the business shut down and why haven't you started working?
Yeah, so I have a few clients, but that just covers my rent. My rent here is almost $4,000 a month. So I'm just
hanging out. What is that? Those $4,000 bonus if you start working. Ma'am, you can go make a burrito. You may not be able to do what you want. Today, people are going to let me talk because I've been very patient over the last few days, but I'm tired of people not letting me talk. Okay. You can get a job. It may not be what you want to do. It may not be what you were trained to do. Everybody wants to be their own boss and have their own business. But I rest assure you, I know I have done things I didn't necessarily, jobs I've had, places I've worked. I work at night. I work during the day. I do what I have to do to take care of mine. I suggest you do the same. Now, here's my ruling. Nothing else. I'm going to find you in willful contempt. Mr. Mamola, get some makeup days. Why isn't there a guardian? Is your client, he can't pay for the guardian? There needs to be a guardian in this case.
He had.
Okay, so let me stop right there. I'm going to let it continue because it's almost over. So she has found her in contempt. So now the other things that he has asked for, she's going to say, if she's going to give her incarceration, if they're going to do a modification. Now this is interesting what she says about the modification, you guys, because they are having so many problems, you're going to see where she's going to lean toward, because she don't want nothing to do with it, because her thing is but you're going to see, but she has found her in contempt.
Lost his job and was unable to afford one.
They're losing their job, but they can afford $4,000 place in LA and then probably the same as rent or their mortgage here.
But I agree, a guardian's probably necessary. I agree.
Is he going to be able to pay it? She says she doesn't have one, and then we can reapportion at the end. That just means right now, ma'am, you wouldn't have to pay it, but he would.
Maria, speak up. Is that something you can afford?
I am in talks now to have another job.
No, yes or no is what he's asking. Asking.
I can't afford it.
So now they're talking about the judge is pushing a GAL. She's trying everything she can to get them to do it voluntarily, but then you're going to see what she's going to do. She is pushing for a guardian ad litem because of the issues. You guys, when it gets to a battle like this in a contempt hearing, when you have so much trouble with visitation, a judge is going to push for GAL. So she is pushing for GAL, but a GAL costs money. So she's trying to figure out who got enough money to pay for the GAL.
I've been in court for a year. No, as of now. I haven't talked about
anybody got a credit card?
I maxed it out fighting for her for 2 years just to get visitation with all these contempts.
Well, I mean, y'all are going to sit there and spin your wheels until there's a guardian.
Ma'am, if I can speak, if you allow me.
Well, no, I just asked him if he had money. You can't call whoever and make things work for a guardian. Y'all going to keep spinning your wheels. That's exactly what you're going to keep doing. But I'm going to hold you in contempt, man. Willful contempt. I will send me an order on attorney's fees. I will assess attorney's fees. She's out there just because, I mean, or, she can, how about I give her, I'll hold off on incarceration. Ma'am, one more violation and to jail you will go. I don't get real happy when people violate my order, and Judge Houston isn't happy when people violate hers. Now, you need to tell this man where she's going to school. And sir, this order from Judge Houston says if you're going somewhere, you got to give her the address 48 hours in advance. So I don't know if you got somewhere out there and the place rented out again, you had to do something, but you got to let her know where the child is. And ma'am, stay out of the way. Sounds like you might be a little bitter because there's someone new. And I don't care, but this child doesn't need to suffer because he's found someone new. You emphasize that she was 24 years old, anything like that. I'm muting you because I don't want you to say anything. All right. But y'all are going to have to get over this for this child. This little girl's coming up here with a little skillet. What in the world, or a frying pan or whatever it was, nonstick Teflon pan, probably saucepan, whatever it was. But this shouldn't be happening. The behavior of you, ma'am, is insane. And he had it for just because he gave her back because of something. I appreciate that. But Mr. Momola, if you'll prepare the order, and let's see. Get your makeup time on whatever dates you want to make those up. They can be consistent weekends, sir. You obviously travel back and forth.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, real quick, y'all. So she gave him the time that he lost with the child. She is giving it back to him. That's what she's saying. The time that he lost, she's giving those days back to him.
Well, give her the dates, make those dates work. If you have, you're renting a place out there, so you're spending a whole bunch of money. No, you know what? You guys are going to find a guardian. This is insane. Somebody needs to speak with this kid outside of her going and trying to get a TPO to override whatever's happening in Georgia, or him doing something in Georgia to override whatever's going to happen there. So, ma'am, both of y'all are going to split it. I think, let's see.
She just made them split the GAL cost.
Let's see. And nobody's going to travel to California because y'all can't afford to make them do that. So let's see. How about Brittany Green? Or wait a minute, who I got on here? I don't have a guardian on here, do I? Dang, usually I have a guardian on here. Don't have one. Miss Finn Johnson's. Woo, very expensive. $600 an hour, counsel. That's what she is. Crazy, right? But
Only
all right,
four,
so how
only
about,
four.
Oh, it went down since she's left corporate world. So I will. It'll be Brittany Green. She works at the Malone firm.
So she's a
So I'll ask her to go easy because she won't have to travel to California for anything. But you guys are going to control how much this is going to cost.
Do you want me to prepare that order and with Brittany Green as the guardian, send that to you?
Yes, please. And it'll be, yeah, in that case, I think Judge Houston will appreciate this. Any documents y'all are supposed to exchange, evals, anything like that, discovery. I don't know if you guys have tried to mediate. Y'all need to try to do this. Y'all need to try, because all of this that Judge Houston's order says. And she also threatened incarceration.
Okay.
But I want you to be able to work for pay for this guardian. They can split it half and half. You both got, too bad you both are grown, but you're going to have to go to your parents or whatever to get a guardian. Miss Green is going to email both of you. She's going to ask that you fill out documents to send to her, kind of like questionnaires, fill it out, send it back to her. And I'm going to let her send me the guardian order, and she'll reach out to you, counsel. And once I get it, we're going to e-file it. So, ma'am, hopefully you're signed up as getting notice of all the filings in that case. And Mr. Moe, once you get it to me or email it to Ms. Delabrado,
Okay.
she will get it to me. I will sign it, and we will get it back to you for e-filing the attorney's fees order. She's going to have to help with a guardian order. You'll give her 60 days or so to pay the attorney's fees.
Okay. And can you provide the email address where I would send the proposed order?
Ms. Delabrado will put it in the chat to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
That is all we have today. Maybe be excused.
Yeah, once you both put your emails in the chat, Ms. Delabrado, you can both leave.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That was it, guys. That was it. Hold on. Let me review that. All right, you guys. So that is what I wanted to let you see. That is a contempt hearing. That is how it would go. And that is a no nonsense type of judge. And this judge is in Fulton County. Okay. So that's another thing. I wanted to bring you a contempt hearing where it was located in Georgia, just to kind of reference what you guys are experiencing now, just to kind of reference it a little bit. But for those who y'all didn't hear, the reason why she did not incarcerate the young lady is, the simple fact is, because she wants her to go find money. Go get a job, because she wants them to get a GAL, because I think the whole thing was just crazy. For them to be fighting the way they are, I think she was just kind of fed up with it. So she wanted them to get a GAL. So she forced a GAL. Sometimes a GAL can be requested and sometimes it can be forced. In this case, she has ordered it. So they have to pay for a GAL. And it's not that, and again, it's not that they can't pay for it. It's not that they're low income. It's just that in her eyes, they both working, they both make the money. So she's saying, okay, well, y'all gonna have to split the cost. She's not going. A GAL is a guardian ad litem. And the reason why guardian ad litems cost so much, because guardian ad litems are usually attorneys for the child. They usually are in the form of an attorney, or it could be of somebody of another profession. But most of the time, 90% of the time, it's an attorney. And what a GAL does, they are mainly representing the child, which means that they will have a talk with the child. They will actually go in and interview both parents. They will interview anybody that's in connection with the child. They will interview any therapist the child is seeing. They will interview the schools. They will get school records. They will get everything pertaining to the child and how the child is living in reference to, trying to resolve visitation and trying to resolve if there is a custody issue. The GAL is the person, because you can't have the mother talk for the child and you can't have the father talk to the child, because it's going to be biased. So you have to find somebody that's in the middle that can talk to the child and find out, hey, what's going on, because the child is like 12, 13 years old. So if the child is able to talk, then the GAL is basic. And a GAL is can be for any age child. So you guys, that's what a GAL is. That's why she pushed for it. So she did push for a GAL in this case. So as you guys can see, he also asked for a modification. The reason why she didn't do the modification is because she wants the GAL to do it. That's why she did the GL. That's why she did not, under any circumstances, do the modification. She asked a GAL. She's asking a GAL to do it. She's asking a GAL to do it. So you guys, like I said, I want you guys to understand what happens in a contempt hearing situation. As you guys can see, those judges are not no nonsense. And you got to stay within the order. You can't go outside the order. You guys, I'm trying to tell you, it's a quick way to piss a judge off. Very quick way to piss a judge off. If you start talking about other things, you go in there crying. Y'all, crying in a courtroom, it doesn't work. It may a little bit, but it doesn't really work, because y'all got to understand, a judge see this all day, every day, especially a family court judge. They see this all day, every day. So their thing is, they see this all the time. So, it's just like, okay. And then you're going to go outside. So when you come in there as a pro se, sometimes you can't control your emotions. You have your attorney there to control your emotions. So, she was all off. She let her have it for a little while, but then after a while, she got sick of it. So, and I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't ignoring your comments, but I wanted to get through these. If judges stop giving these bitter mothers breaks, and these mothers won't think they can freely violate these orders, it happens way too much. And it does. And you see, the judge did chastise her. She definitely did chastise, but she did chastise him. Because remember when I told y'all, remember when I said she got him with the addresses? So apparently when he does take the daughter, he must provide an address and a location as to where he's taking the child and give it to the mother. And he did not do that. So he got chastised for that too. So it wasn't just the mother, it was the father as well. But y'all, this is the difference in an attorney. An attorney can really point out different things. And like I said, even if you cannot afford an attorney, I would suggest that you get legal consultation or a legal advisor in the courtroom with you to advise you, to consult with, if you can't afford an attorney. So that's what I would advise in these type of things, especially anything concerning like contempt cases with divorces and stuff like that. It has to do with the child. So that is why I strictly said that, to be honest with you, both of them would be good for both of them to have an attorney. So let me correct that. Both of them should get an attorney. But again, the reason why I stress that, if we're going to reference the LaTruth case, the reason why I did say to LaTruth or Robert is because he put in a lot of extra stuff that, the same as the young lady, you see, she brought in the extra stuff. Judge not going to hear that. So this extra stuff that Robert had put in that contempt, the judge is probably going to tell him that he needs to take that to a different court. So that's why I said that. That's why I say he needs a different attorney, because an attorney would have never advised him to put that stuff in that contempt, because it has nothing to do with the contempt order, and she's just going to overlook it. He or she or whoever the judge is, they're going to overlook it. They're not even going to entertain it. So that's why I said, yes, special case, it's irrelevant to the case. So that's why I suggested that he get an attorney and take that to the proper court. So that's why I said that. So they'll dismiss it, but she'll see the pattern. Yeah, it's good to bring it to the judge's attention. It's good that, but y'all, when you do, depending on who the judge is and what type of judge you have, they could be very tedious, and they could be very no nonsense, and they could be the type of judge stick to the facts. I don't want to hear something. So it all really depends on who the judge is, what kind of tolerance they have, what type of caseload they have, what their day is like. So like I said, y'all, it's all up to the judge, like I've always said. Yeah, and you should document everything as well, right? An attorney would have caught that before submitting. Yes, D-Red, they would have caught that. They would have definitely caught that and pulled it back. So, but y'all, again, if you're doing it pro se, in cases like that, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just get some type of consultation. So, but anyway, you guys got to see she was found in contempt because, she was holding visitation. She didn't say she wasn't. She admitted that she was. Her reasons were not valid. according to the judge. For withholding, the reasons have to be medical, or the reasons have to be, it's either medical or maybe death or something like in a family. It has to be something that's maybe beyond the person's control, but you can't just withhold it because you want to, okay? And like I said, this is in reference to this case only, not any other case. Like I said, I do reference back to Robert and Brianna's case, but again, this was strictly about this particular live and giving you guys example of a contempt case. So, but anyway, hey, Miss E, y'all gonna have to catch the replay. Hey, Ronnie. Yes, document everything, but putting it on the internet is nothing. Right, Ronnie. That's right. Exactly. You shouldn't put it on the internet, you guys. It's just, you shouldn't put it on the internet. You just shouldn't. Okay. Should get notarized statements from all companies that we have never been incited or paid by him to blog on this story. That would be more so, true Sarah, that could be a thought, but that would be more so if he was pursuing a civil litigation case. That would be more so toward that. Have you ever seen a father get full custody of their child due to visitation issues? No. And the reason, I've never seen it, but that's not to say it's never happened. I've never seen it, but again, that's not to say it has never. Like Marlena said that it has happened with her. I've never seen it happen in the cases that I've been involved with, but that's not to say it doesn't happen. Sorry, y'all. Usually most of the time when a judge takes a child away from the mother, it really has to be something really extreme. And if it does get to the point that visitation just gets out of hand, you know, hey, it could happen. So there you have a couple of people in the chat that says they are familiar with that, and it has happened with them. So the world's not supposed to know what goes on behind closed doors unless you are reaching out for life or right, Miss Judy, right. So anyway, you guys, that is my live for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what a contempt hearing is. And we will be diving into a lot of this stuff. I'm trying to think of ways that I can bring the courtroom to you guys so you can actually see what actually goes on in these hearings. So you can get an idea of things and you won't have to just guess. You'll actually know based on what you see and based on your own personal experience. Special K, that's right. They usually exhaust all options before they get to that point. So, but so are y'all saying I shouldn't have posted that video with the humble me hype? A man can get full custody. My brother, sorry, I did the video on just got full custody of his daughter because the mom said the back and forth times were too much for her. Oh wow! So see y'all there again. You have another humble me hype has had an experience with that in her family. So it has happened many times. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much again. I so enjoyed y'all, all my mods, JB, Latte, of course, Miss Judy, always keep me on my toes. Though, y'all, I love my mods. I really, really, I could not have asked for better mods. They really are great. And my supporters, Healing Hearts, Serenity, Love Cat, Miss Perry, thank you so much for coming in. Miss Lots, Nikki, Latoya, I'm sorry. Humble Me Hype, thank you so much. I always enjoy you coming in. Real YouTube T, I enjoy you. Special K, y'all, Special K, girl, you are hilarious. D Red, thank you so much. Marlena, Rebecca, I think I got Healing Hearts. Royal D Ham, thank you so much for stopping through. I really enjoyed that. True Slayer, Sharon, Anissa, Ronnie, Miss E, thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate all you guys' commentary, your feedback, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I will definitely, Jay, you're gonna have to catch the replay, honey. You're gonna have to catch the replay. So anyway, if I missed your name, I know, Lady J, you got to catch the replay. So if I missed your name, you guys charge it to the head and not the heart. And I will see you guys. I can say that Robert, he learned. Right, Lovely Stay. Right. Thank you so much for joining. Love you too, Love Cat. Again, just charge it to the head and not the heart if I missed your name. But thank you so much for joining. And I'll see you guys on the next live.